Welcome to the Nagual Zone. I am Anaam. Today we are discussing this huge word, big word. In any language, it's a big word. Forgiveness. We're discussing forgiveness, how the average man is taught to view it. Children have to be taught forgiveness. Yes, you weren't born knowing forgiveness. It's a completely alien concept to your soul. It's an idea based in your mind. It's an idea based on a certain thing that warriors invest entire lifetimes cleaning themselves off. You see, forgiveness, and then we'll discuss also how warriors see it, Toltec warriors. How do they see it? This word is next only to God. Forgiveness. Must forgive thy enemies. All the big parasitic religions, I will just say it as the J's, the C's and the M's. They'll insist on this word, forgiveness. It's the big word, next only to their God. For warriors, it's one of the most, again, flip it around, it's one of the most useless ways to deal with a situation. But we'll get into that shortly, and hopefully it will make sense to you. So don't listen to the three parasitic so-called religions that prey on your energy, your resources and your time by making you worship a bona fide, genuine, A-grade demon. Goes by many names. It goes by Jehovah and Allah and Jesus. So it's all the same demonic, or in warrior terms, inorganic entity, the parasite, that or a collective of parasites that prey upon this world. So forgiveness, as we know, is of two kinds. One is the energy flows outwards. So you are granting forgiveness. It's kind of like granting freedom, isn't it? If you have to grant freedom to someone, is it really freedom? Interesting. I grant forgiveness. So one is the energy is going outwards. One is the energy is coming towards you. You beckon forgiveness, right? You ask for forgiveness, so on and so forth. That's the two flows of this word. When the average man is mainly 99% of the time concerned with outward flow of forgiveness. Granting forgiveness is the business of the average man. You know why? Because in the average man's consensus insanity, everyone is out to offend everyone else. Everyone's my enemy. You hurt me. She hurt me. Teacher hurt me. Parents hurt me. I am hurt. Hurt. I am hurt. I need to heal myself. The next workshop, that will heal me. Healing. Remember what I said about warriors investing lifetimes dealing with this problem? It's called self-importance. Here's a little pro tip for you. Forgiveness and self-importance, two sides of the same coin. The outward flow of forgiveness. If you're having to grant forgiveness to people, rest assured that it's because you were offended at some stage. Something offended you. Now, we're not talking about genuine hurts. There are genuine hurts in the average man's world. By the time the average man turns into a warrior, they are no longer genuine hurts. They never were. They are seen for what they are, which is, in Hindi, in Sanskrit, there's a word lila. It's called divine play. the play of the divine. But that's a whole esoteric philosophical topic that I don't want to get into. Suffice it to say, for a warrior, the hurts, by the time that person becomes a warrior, hurts are seen and experienced differently. Let's just leave it at that. So the outward flow of forgiveness, the average man's always looking, and there's a lot of hurt and healing and also anger and rage, and women have a lot of rage against the men because of all the hurts, and rightly so. There's a lot of cruelty in the average man's consensus insanity, and consequently a lot of damage is done. The warrior, remember the flip around principle. The warrior, on the other hand, is concerned not with granting forgiveness. The warrior is concerned with beckoning forgiveness. One is an exercise in self-importance, because in Don Juan's words, we spend our lives being offended by someone or something constantly, or words to that effect. That is self-importance. If I'm offended, someone has offended me, I want them to say sorry. Right? How dare they not apologize? The warrior is not concerned with granting forgivenesses. The warrior is concerned with beckoning forgiveness, because the warrior is about one business. How do I diminish my self-importance? How do I diminish my self-importance? And one of the best ways to diminish self-importance is to ask for forgiveness, to beckon forgiveness. Because living with humans in the average man's consensus insanity, we will offend, we will hurt, we will damage. It just happens without meaning to, even despite our best intentions. Our self-importance comes through, or just some clumsiness happens, spiritual, emotional, physical clumsiness happens, and there you have it. Before you know it, some damage has been done. And now the warrior spares no expense and no time in asking for forgiveness in a genuine fashion, because here is an opportunity. So make no mistake, the warrior's idea of forgiveness is very different. And I'll delineate this even further right now. The average man's idea of forgiveness is, I am hurt, you must say sorry. It's 99% of the word forgiveness, that's what it means to the average man. The warrior is, I'm so sorry I hurt you. I was part of this damage, I'm so sorry. So let's now move to what the warriors are concerned about, which is asking for forgiveness, because this is what you need knowledge in. You don't need knowledge in, granting forgiveness. You need knowledge in how to ask for forgiveness. And I'll give you a really amazing tool at the end for this. But let's just make one thing clear. When the average man is asking for forgiveness, or woman is asking for forgiveness, they are coming from a very different place inside than the warrior. And you have to beware of this when you are asking for forgiveness. The average man is coming from a sense of smallness and disempowerment. I have done something wrong. I feel so shitty. I feel guilty. What is that? Feeling small and disempowered. Therefore, I will kind of, ask for forgiveness. And it's a big thing to wrench forgiveness out of the average man. It's a big bloody thing. First of all, they won't ask. They will not say sorry. No one will say sorry. Right? I'd done a video some time ago called "Just Don't Expect Two Things from in the Average Man's Consensus Insanity." Don't expect these two words. I'm sorry and thank you. Just don't expect people to say this to you. You'll have a much better life. You'll be much happier. If you stop expecting people to say these two words, which it's like expecting water out of rocks. Flip around. Warriors are free and generous with these two. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And thank you. 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 Everywhere. Thank you. Genuine, engaged, authentic thank you. Genuine, engaged, authentic apologies. That's the warrior's domain. And the reason why the warrior asks for apology is completely different than the reason why the average man asks for apology. So let's go back to how the average man feels when they're asking for apology. They're feeling small, they're feeling disempowered and guilty, and shame. Shame and guilt is the main reason, right? The warrior never feels any of this. I never feel small, disempowered, shameful when I'm apologizing. I never do that. It just doesn't happen for me. I feel empowered. It is an act of empowerment for me to ask for forgiveness. It is a great opportunity for me. It is a time of rejoicing, because here I get to diminish my self-importance. There's no room for me to be feeling small and disempowered, poor me, that kind of deal. So beware of this stance when you are asking for forgiveness, when you're beckoning someone's forgiveness. Beware of this stance of feeling, like a lost little puppy. You must stay in your center. What is your center? Learn to shut off your internal dialogue. You will discover your center. That is your center. You must come from that place when you're apologizing, when you're saying sorry, when you're asking for forgiveness. That's where the warriors come from. So the warrior's forgiveness, act of asking for forgiveness is an act of power. The warrior is literally beckoning power. The average man, on the other hand, is concerned with one thing when apologizing. That they should think better of me. It's the only reason the average man will ever apologize is to correct the image, the carefully built image of themselves in society and to you and to everyone else. The only time the average man will feel it worth their while to apologize to you. If they feel that your image of them is in danger. You're not going to think so well of them anymore. It's the only time they'll apologize. Mostly. There are genuine apologies in the average man's world, but those are an exception. The average man is just not concerned with all of this. The warrior is just not concerned with any of that nonsense. The warrior is concerned with just one thing when apologizing. Remember this very carefully. Very carefully. The warrior is concerned with repairing, harmonizing, bringing back into balance lines of force or lines of energy or channels of connection between herself and the other. That's the only motivation for the warrior to seek an apology. In order to repair, harmonize, elevate, reorganize lines of connection. It has to do with the warrior's solar plexus. The warrior's solar plexus suffers when self-importance is rising, is feeding. What Eckhart Tolle calls the pain body. The pain body directly leaches energy from the power center in our body, directly. It's a direct extraction. Zzz. And before long, you're like, you've lost all power. Warriors don't do all this. We are in the business of, when I seek an apology, I am seeking to repair and harmonize and rebalance where it has gone out of balance, where it has been damaged. The channel of connection has been damaged. The channel of flow of energy. The flow of energy has been disrupted somehow. And if I can pitch in and repair it by apologizing, I'll be the first one to do it. Do you see the difference? What an empowered stance that is. And how then easy it is to apologize, and in an authentic way. Because you're interested in something else. You're not interested in that they should now think better of me, or if I don't apologize, what will they think of? You're not interested in all of that. You're interested in repair, harmony, reconnection. Your interest, let me tell you, I say this so often, or maybe I don't say it often enough. Don Juan used to tell Carlos Castaneda one thing again and again. And he one time said to Castaneda, he said, I've said to you so many times, and if you can just take this one thing away from your apprenticeship, it is that there is a sea of energy out there, and that we are all a part. We are all a part of that sea of energy. It has nothing to do with self-images and what will they think and what will I think and I feel guilty, and there's no self-obsession, self-centeredness. It is about, are the lines of energy holistic between this person and myself? And so the warrior will do what they can. If there is no repairing of that situation or in that person, and the channels of connection are not being re-established, then the warrior just, what can you do? You take your take your losses. Maybe an intuition might come to try again some other time, or maybe years later try again. We don't know. But the body guides, right? So remember, where you're coming from when you're apologizing is very important. Very, very important. Don't come from a place of exercising your ego, your self-importance when you're apologizing. Come from a place of concern for, is the connection from my solar plexus to that person's solar plexus, is that connection clean, clear, and is the lovely water, clean, clear water flowing? The water of life, water of energy, whatever we can say. You see what I'm saying? Very important. Hopefully this has given you some tips, some knowledge about, or perspective about how Toltec warriors go about the act of forgiveness, and what the average man does, which is what you must be aware of. Don't fall for those tricks in others. And you go about exercising your forgiveness. Basically, look, you don't need to be concerned with granting forgiveness. Just leave that alone. Look at your own self-importance. If you need to heal yourself, forgive them internally, whatever. But be more concerned with asking for forgiveness. You'll grow a lot more. You'll grow a lot more. On that note, let me give you the master key of this word. This master key is useful for the outflow of the forgiveness energy and the inflow of forgiveness energy on both accounts. You do the same thing. This is the ancient art of Hawaiian healing called Ho'oponopono. You can look that up. And it is concerned with 4 phrases which are actually amazing in the Hawaiian language, but sadly, English being the language of psychotic, violent rapists, that's basically what the English language is the language of. It is very loose translation, but still hopefully captures maybe say 10% of the Hawaiian way, you know, of Ho'oponopono. Therefore, there's 4 statements. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. 4 statements. Whether you are granting apology, okay, it's okay, it's okay. Apology accepted. If you want to grow, that's not going to make you grow. What you just did, it's okay. Oh, it's fine. You know, you don't need to apologize. Yeah, that did not make you grow. It made you feel great because, hey, yeah, someone's apologizing to me. I must be a worthy person. Made you feel great, didn't it? But you didn't grow. However, if you can do this, you can be gracious and say thank you for your apology accepted. You can be gracious. But inside you go, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, thank you. You do this inside. That'll make you grow. And I won't tell you why. I want you to discover this on your own. Why, even when someone is asking for your forgiveness, begging for your forgiveness, and you're going inside, internally you're going, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. I want you to do this for many years. Every situation where you are demanding forgiveness from people, you do this instead. And I want you to discover why this will make you grow. On the other hand, the other one is obvious. When you're asking for forgiveness, ask using this template. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. You can say that internally to prepare yourself before you ask for forgiveness, and just say that maybe half a day, 1 day prior to when you are going to ask forgiveness. If it is a formal thing, you're going to send an email or a text or whatever. Or just use it. Just use it. You see 2 people fighting, you start doing this. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. Start doing this. You see 2 dogs fighting in the park, you start doing this. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. You got offended by that waitress who had a scowl on her face and slapped the bill down and walked away. Fine. Yeah, that's your opportunity to grow. That's not your opportunity to be offended and which is the easier bit. I've done it many times. But if you can remember and go, oh, cool down, man. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. You see how that'll make you grow? And when you are to say sorry, I'm sorry, you should be very free with your apologies. Why? Because there's a lot of repairing you need to be doing. A lot of lines of force have been damaged through your ignorance. So there will come a time when you won't be needing to apologize so much, because you just won't be creating so much damage around you in the first place through ignorance and pettiness. Remember that if you are having to demand forgiveness, expect for someone to say sorry, or feeling offended, all that has happened in your life, all that has happened is that the petty tyrant has won. That's all that has happened, is that the petty tyrant has won. and you have been defeated. Your own self-importance defeated you. We're not talking about genuine hurts. For example, if you were sexual abuse is a big thing in this world. That's a genuine hurt. That takes a lot, so we're not talking about genuine hurts. They have to be dealt with differently. That's a different video. This is everyday life. To create and keep and maintain harmonious relationships with your surroundings. Use this Ho'oponopono, work with it. Create in yourself a spirit that easily accesses this energy. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And watch how don't be deceived by these 4 statements. It is an incredibly powerful technique. Let me know in the comments what you think of this video, the content, what your thoughts are on forgiveness. If you have any real life situations on using Ho'oponopono, maybe you know of it already, put it in the comments below. Everyone would love to hear your experience. And remember, you are a luminous being. You're a luminous being. Expect yourself to bear yourself in your life, in your world, with dignity, with grace, with humility, and a certain soft tread. Not heavy, not destroying, damaging wherever you go. I exist. Relax. You don't need to prove constantly to everyone and yourself and your surroundings that you exist. Relax. Tread softly. Soft. Treat things softly. No heavy-handedness. Say to your phone that you flung on the bed after, hey, get that phone again and say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. Say that to your phone. Why can't you say that to your phone? Yeah. Exactly. Anything you mistreat, you say that to that object, that thing. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. And watch how it changes you. Okay, on that note, I will see you next time. This is part of a masterclass. Now we're going to move on to questions and answers, and it's a fantastic community. I urge you to come and join these masterclasses. Walk in freedom. I'll see you next time. Farewell.